Hello there, YouTube. Welcome to News from Japan with Victor. Give me a flake, man. By the way, I don't really have a name for this new series, so if anyone's got a good idea, please leave it in the comments. I would appreciate it. And if any of you budding musicians would like to make a theme song for my Japanese for Morons new channel, I need a theme song. I mean, I love the Betamax theme song, but it doesn't say Japanese for Morons. I want something, you know, Japanese for Morons in the name, in the lyrics. So if anyone wants to try it out, of course I'll give you credit, shout you out, and put your name in the credits. And yeah, okay. Send you some nudes, whatever you need. Okay, let's get to today's news. What is occupying the Japanese TV talking head today? Pretty interesting. Now, before I get to that, 2 days ago, I talked about how married women and men, well, married people, a lot of them have decided to get divorced as a result of the way their spouse reacted in the earthquake and the following tsunami. And a lot of people were surprised. They said, well, wow, I thought that disasters were supposed to make bonds better. Well, think of it this way. Think about you dating someone, in my case, a woman. If I were dating a woman and we went off on vacation too early, that vacation might prove to be too stressful if we're not really suited to be together. And often vacations is why we break up. That's something you see, that theme you often see in Seinfeld. You know, they have these rules about couples. Oh, it's too early to go on vacation kind of thing. I think it was Seinfeld that talks about that, right? But anyway, it's a common idea. So think about that, and think about this. And there's another phenomenon in Japan, or actually a word, an expression called Narita Rikon. Narita Rikon. Narita is a Narita Airport in Gaijin, accent. Narita Airport in Tokyo is the biggest airport in Tokyo, akin to JFK or LaGuardia in New York City. And a lot of couples will go off on their honeymoon and come back and immediately get divorced because they realize that this is not the person I really want to be married to. Because that honeymoon was the first stress that relationship had gone through, and it was obviously too early to be going off on a honeymoon. So actually, if you think about it, honeymoons are something you should probably take after a year of living together and getting to know each other, Maybe like getting married and going off on a honeymoon immediately if you don't really know each other, it's not the best thing to do. And there's still quite a few marriages in Japan that are arranged marriages, meaning they don't really, they met through either they were introduced to each other through family, friends, or relatives, or acquaintances, or they met through a referral service, a marriage agency, so to speak. There are quite a few of those here, and I saw one here in Nagoya that says, there was a big sign outside. I got to take a picture and show it to you. It says Gaijin, Gaikokujin mo. So they'll even introduce you to a foreigner if you're interested in that. Why would anybody want to marry one of us, right? But anyway, but here's something else that's interesting. So a lot of married people decided they wanted to get divorced, and a lot of single people, and I will put links in the description to these articles, a lot of single people have realized they don't want to die alone and childless. So they're like I said, check the links, do your research yourself. But yeah, there's a couple statistics showing that marriage sales of rings, for example, weddings are up, marriages are up. And these agencies that will introduce you to someone to get married, marriage agencies, what are they called? Matchmaking services. They're also booming. They're also doing well because they've realized that after the disaster, they're like, oh, I'm gonna die and I never got married. So why am I telling you this? I forgot the most important thing. For those of you who are interested in a Japanese spouse, be it male or female, this is the time to come to Japan and jump on them, because this is when the guards are down. They got the guards down. Yeah, that's it. That's the expression. I'm an English teacher, I am. They got the guards down. This is a time when you want to get in there and assault them with love. Okay, that's the first story. That's interesting. Now, the other story that made me kind of excited today was, because I love crime, I'm watching it on TV, is the biggest cash heist in Japanese history. But then I realized that it happened on May 12th. I'm like, oh, I missed the whole thing. But today they arrested a guy. His name is Hideaki Ueki. He's 31 years old. And they put out a wanted notice, on a guy named Watanabe, last name Watanabe, Yutaka Watanabe. He's 41. And apparently they robbed a securities firm, like a place that keeps all the money for someone else, like payrolls and stuff. A securities firm of roughly $7.2 million in cash. $7.2 million these days is not much. My students were like saying, yeah, you know, if there's like 10 of the police think there's 10 of them involved, so they're like, oh, if there's 10 of them, you know, they can maybe buy an apartment in Tokyo. That's the best thing. A small apartment in Tokyo is all you're going to get for that. In Nagoya, you could probably buy a pretty big, nice house. But in Tokyo, you're not going to get much for that. But apparently, they're probably associated with gangs, so they're dangerous. Gangs do have, most people don't have weapons in Japan. These guys did. The assault was done without a gun, though. It was done with a pipe and a masking tape, and they beat this guy up. They used a knife to threaten him. And apparently, they beat up the security guard. And they knew something was going to happen. Like, they had some inside information about the security guard. There's apparently a lock on the building where they broke into that had been broken for like a padlock had been broken for about a year, and somehow they knew about it. So the police think maybe it was an inside job. They don't know yet. But anyway, the interesting thing is it's not that much money. I mean, I was impressed that it really wasn't that much money. I would think that Japan would have a bigger case, but I looked around, and the biggest successful, I think, robbery was like $3 million. Not that much. There's a Wells Fargo attempt in America, I think in 1997, which is $17 million, which is there's a pretty interesting story about that. I don't know if they made a movie about that, but check the description for that. Anyway, that was kind of exciting. They're looking into that right now. So I'll tell you if anything else happens with that. The other thing that really caught my eye today was this musician that has been in the headlines today. He's a rock artist. Yeah, I don't know why they call him rock artist, not star, but his name is Yuya Uchida, and he's the coolest looking old rocker you'd ever see. He's got white, long hair and big sunglasses, and he's scrawny like Mick Jagger. I don't know if Mick Jagger's scrawny anymore, but anyway, he's married, but he's been living apart from his wife for a long time, and he's got an ex-girlfriend, and she's like 50, and she like wanted to break up with him, and he wouldn't let her. And back in March, they had a fight, and she called the police. He threatened to tell her company about her drug use, which may or may not be true. But this is what happened apparently. He went to her house. She wouldn't let him in. So he called the locksmith and said that he lived there and got the guy to make a key, and he went into the house. And the police arrested him. Then he was let free. I don't know why they let the guy free. Apparently he admitted it. And here's the thing that really interested me. He said he apologized to Japan. He said, in these troubling times, I'm really sorry that such a thing as this scandal had to come out. This private problem had to make headlines and take everyone's attention away from what's truly important. That's roughly the impression I got from the Japanese. Now, talking to students, they tell me that he's famous for saying at the end of his whatever he says whenever he talks to the media or gives a speech, he'll say "Rock on," and apparently he did it at this time too. I don't have any video of it yet, but as I'm uploading this, I will look and see if I can find you a good video of him saying "Rock on." But yeah, it's interesting that even in a case like this, Japanese will apologize for something, even when they admit it. And they don't. He didn't apologize for assaulting the woman. He didn't apologize for his bad behavior. He apologized that his scandal was taking attention away from Japan in these troubling times. Kind of interesting, huh? Anyway, that is what is occupying the talking heads of Japan today. Thanks for watching, everybody. More videos coming soon. Until next time, I'm Victor, give me a flake man, signing out.